So first and foremost, we've seen a lot of films that have this similar idea but opposite. You know, we have immigrants coming to the United States. What made you want to do a film that was sort of like, you know, reverse from what most people expect?
Well, about 5 years ago, a very good friend of mine, who's this white guy from Atlanta, decided that he was going to move to China, and he had never lived outside of the U.S., didn't speak a word of Chinese, but within a couple of years he was like fluent in Chinese. He reads and writes better than I do, and he would just tell me these hilarious stories about what it's like to be an American immigrant living in China. And you're absolutely right, it's just such an upside down concept for Americans. We think of the United States as being a land of immigrants. Everybody comes here to look for jobs and get married and settle down. But in the modern world, I mean, you hear all about the Chinese economy, #1 in the world soon, and all that stuff. And sure enough, these days, if you go to China, you go to a city like Beijing or Shanghai, and you cannot avoid running into Americans. There's so many Americans and Europeans there, and they're all living this immigrant experience. And it's just such a bizarre and funny and unique part of being an American in China that I decided to make a movie about it.
And as a director, you got to actually shoot on location. So tell me a little bit about what it was like filming in Shanghai and in China.
Well, my producer Janet Yang, she when I first met her, the first thing she said was, "Look, if you really want to make this movie the way that you want to make it, we have to shoot in China." And what that meant was it led to sort of a really lengthy experience of doing all the paperwork and finding a local partner and getting the permits and stuff. But it was absolutely worth it because we got to shoot in one of the most gorgeous cities in the world. I mean, when you go see Shanghai Calling, you'll see, you know, how colorful and vibrant and all the textures there are there. And it's but it was crazy too at the same time, because, you know, there were times we were shooting in locations that we couldn't make closed. We couldn't close the set to the public, and there are people everywhere watching us. In China, one thing that happens a lot is that people come and they see something. Chinese people, they love to watch. They love to watch unique things going on. So we'd be on location, you know, we'd be shooting something, and I'd call cut, and I'd look around, and, you know, I'd be surrounded by people who are staring at the monitor.
Now, you know, you've done so well so far. You did well at the Shanghai Film Festival, and then again at the LA Pacific Asian Film Festival. How important is that to have that feedback sort of from film festivals that it's really successful film and doing well?
It was super important to go to film festivals and win awards and really build a fan base, because Shanghai Calling, ultimately, it's an independent film, and going to all these festivals, and we went to Shanghai International Film Festival, and Daniel Hsia won the Best New Actor award there, and the audience was really responsive to it. At the same time, we did really well here in U.S. festivals, and that helped us sort of get the attention of our distributor, Stars Media, and they're so supportive of the film, and they know how much people like it, and so they've really gotten behind us, and they helped us get this push out there, and we're hoping that people will really discover the film.
And then lastly, you know, people that are going to sit and watch this, what is something that you hope the audience gets from it when they leave the theater?
I think that I really hope that American audiences watch Shanghai Calling and come to a better understanding of what's actually happening in China right now. I mean, we hear so much about China, whether it's about, you know, oh wow, the economy, it's so scary, or, you know, oh, the air quality, or the manufacturing over there. All of that stuff that you hear about, we went there and we actually shot it, and we shot a story about, you know, real Americans just like you and me who are living there right now and discovering what it is to be, you know, living in modern China and experiencing it as a foreigner, and at the same time trying to figure out what's going on, figure out your own life, and just get by.
Okay, so they're going to see this film, and where can they see it? So I know it's going to be in certain theaters and video on demand.
Right. So Shanghai Calling is going to be in Los Angeles and New York, and it's going to be on demand at the same time on pretty much every channel that you can find a movie on demand: iTunes, Amazon, Vudu, Google Play, and I think it's pretty much going to be every cable provider too. We'll have it for on-demand rental too.
All right, so they got to watch it. That's the next thing they got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch it. Go to our website, shanghaiCalling.com, where you can see our trailer and read all sorts of inside stories about what it was like to make the movie.